One moment, Elena Vance was posting about our perfect relationship on Instagram. The next, she had quietly picked up the limited edition sports car I had reserved months ago at the dealership. An hour later, her male friend, Liam Tate, posted a photo of himself behind the wheel on his story. The caption read, "Blessed to have a boss who truly cares about her team." She knew I love cars more than anything, yet she dared to steal my order and gift it to another man. That night, I had every single top-tier supercar from my garage transported to the driveway, lining them up right in front of her. I told her to pick whatever she wanted to give away. My father, seizing the opportunity, immediately accepted a matchmaking arrangement with the Astor family on my behalf. I had money, looks, and status. Why waste my time on someone who didn't love me? At dusk, I stood on the balcony of the villa, watching the sunset. A powerful engine roar echoed from the distance, and a black and gold limited edition hypercar pulled up to the entrance. Liam walked around the hood and opened the passenger door with exaggerated gentleness. A silver stiletto hit the pavement. Elena stepped out dressed in a sharp white suit, clutching a white alligator skin Hermes bag. Her gaze was fixed on Liam, the man holding the door for her, and there was a hint of aggressive affection in her eyes. I watched them exchange a few words, Elena laughing with a brightness I hadn't seen in a long time. A notification popped up on my phone, a new post from Liam. It was a side photo taken from the passenger seat, clearly from a girlfriend's perspective. Long fingers gripped the steering wheel, lips curved into a satisfied smirk. Driving the boss home in the car, she gifted me. Even the wind feels sweet tonight. In that moment, every expectation I held shattered. When a sales associate messaged me this afternoon, I thought Elena was planning a surprise for me. I had spent 3 hours in my walk-in closet choosing the perfect outfit, waiting with a full heart. I waited until I was starving. She never came. Instead, I opened my phone to see Liam's post. At first, I suspected Liam had taken the photo secretly to feed his vanity, but seeing this new post confirmed it. She really had taken the car I've been talking about for half a year and given it to someone else. I walked outside and stood before Elena. Liam immediately took 2 steps forward, blocking her from me with his long legs. "Mr. Sterling, good evening. Elena just treated me to dinner, so we're a bit late. Please don't blame her." Facing his provocation, my gaze turned cold. It was almost laughable. Who was he to tell me not to blame my own girlfriend? I haven't said a word yet, and you're already eager to paint me as the villain. Liam looked up, his pale, clean-cut face turning slightly white. I pulled the corner of my mouth into a dry smile, getting used to the drive. We've all been in high society long enough to read the room. A hypercar worth nearly $3 million wasn't something a marketing director like Elena, who came from humble background, could easily afford on a whim. If he dared to accept it, he had to know who the original owner was. Liam gave a muffled response. Elena stepped in front of him, tugging at my sleeve. "All right, Julian." Liam picks me up and drops me off every day. "I suddenly remembered you were a car, so I just picked it up to give to him. You have so many sports cars. You wouldn't mind, right?" I put my hands in my pockets, my smile not reaching my icy eyes. "No, I do mind. I waited 6 months for that car. No one takes it. Not even you." Elena hadn't expected me to be so blunt. Her face darkened instantly. The air grew silent. Liam pressed his lips together, saying nothing. As a man, he knew exactly why I was angry. No man can watch the woman he loves take his money to buy gifts for another man, even if the gift was ostensibly to drive her around. "Mr. Sterling, it's my fault. I shouldn't have accepted Elena's gift," Liam said, his voice dropping. "I'll deregister the plates and return it to the dealership immediately." Listen to him, making me look petty. "Liam, right? It's just a car. I can afford to give it away," I said smoothly. "I have a dozen supercars in the garage. Go pick one. Consider it a gift for me." He looked up, surprise flashing in his eyes. I looked down at him, my natural authority bearing down. "Elena and I have been together for 9 years. She's seen the world. She doesn't think gifting a supercar is a big deal, but you should know better. As an assistant, you need to know what you can accept and what you cannot." Liam took a step back, losing his composure, and apologized repeatedly. "Mr. Sterling is right. I was wrong. Please don't blame Elena. Elena calling her by her first name so intimately. Elena stepped forward on her heels, shielding Liam behind her, and wrapped her arm around my waist. She pulled a bottle of cologne from her bag, smiling with excessive, doting warmth. Okay, my Prince Charming. I bought you that limited edition cologne you wanted. Don't be angry anymore. Okay? I looked down at the cologne in her hand, and memories of the last 9 years flashed by. Elena and I had been together since college. A cool beauty, she had rejected countless suitors who threw themselves at her, staying loyal only to me. In moments of passion, she used to whisper that I was the only man she would ever love, that I was her life. But now everything had changed. I saw the admiration and tenderness in her eyes when she looked at another man. I saw her smile at him, revealing her emotions to him. The cologne in her hand was a brand I hadn't worn in years. Her coaxing tone pulled me back to reality. I know you're only jealous because you love me. Anyone else would think you're targeting my poor employee. Targeting him? He wasn't worth the effort. I narrowed my eyes and walked coldly toward the villa. The way Liam looks at you isn't the way a subordinate looks at a boss. You're marketing director. You have sharp instincts. You can't be blind to it. Daring to give a $3 million car to a man who has a crush on you, Elena. She frowned, pouting playfully. I know there is absolutely nothing going on between Liam and me. Not now. Not ever. I looked at her deeply and decided to accept her pledge for the moment. I had loved her for so many years. I'd weathered storms before. Fighting over a moderately attractive male assistant felt beneath me. I had been in my anger, and I got my car back. There was no need to push further. After all, I didn't have proof of any real affair. Elena pulled me into the house and tore to the bathroom, her eyes soft and alluring. The housekeeper is off today. You shower first. I'll go see a steak for you. I nodded, watching her walk away, and opened the drawer where I kept my underwear. I frowned. Her voice drifted in from a hallway. Oh, right. The housekeeper said your boxers are getting old, so she threw them all out. Just grab a new pack from the bottom drawer. I bent down and opened the bottom drawer. I have OCD. Everything must be arranged perfectly flat. The housekeeper knew this and checked it daily, but there was a box of designer boxer briefs missing. In a flash, I remembered Liam's Instagram post from 2 days ago. In a photo dump carousel showing off his lifestyle, there was a box of this exact brand of underwear. Rage flared instantly, consuming my reason. Elena took my underwear and gave it to her assistant. I didn't want to admit it, but I was mad with jealousy. In 9 years, this was the first time I had been this angry over another man. I wanted to storm downstairs and demand an explanation. Did she know what it implied to buy a man underwear? Just as I was trying to calm myself before going down, Elena pushed open the bathroom door, the click-clack of her slippers announcing her arrival. Julian, Liam returned the car to the dealership, but I need to go there personally to handle the paperwork. You'll have to make dinner yourself. I was already fuming. This was pouring gasoline on the fire. Can't wait until tomorrow. You have to go out this late specifically for that. Elena paused, frowning. Didn't you want the car back? I'm doing this early to settle it for you. My face went cold, my heart turning to ice. You took the car without my permission. I simply claimed what was mine. It's late and unsafe. Go tomorrow. She sighed, her eyes full of disapproval. You humiliated Liam publicly by taking back the gift I gave him. Now you want him to waste hours at the dealership waiting. Julian, you can't be so selfish. You're acting like a stranger. The blazing anger in me suddenly extinguished, replaced by an endless, freezing disappointment. I laughed, finding it absurd. I'm selfish. I'm a stranger. Elena, do you hear yourself? Elena looked impatient, but tried to explain calmly. I know I sounded harsh, but you know Liam is the only person who can truly help share my workload right now. You made him lose face today. I can't just abandon him there. Seeing I wasn't speaking, she sighed again. Julian, you come from old money. You're different from ordinary people like me. If I want a future with you, I have to be strong. You can throw a tantrum and demand I stay, but chilling the heart of a partner who fights alongside me, that's something I won't do. My mind went blank. So in Elena's heart, we were never equals. Liam was the partner who stood shoulder to shoulder with her. So that was it. My heart went cold. Go then. Seeing me relent, she didn't hesitate. She pushed the door open and left, leaving only the scent of gardenia fading in the air. I used to admire Elena's rationality and clarity. She used to say she loved my inherent pride and rebellious streak. Now everything had changed. I looked up at the ceiling and exhaled deeply. There was no point in keeping a woman whose heart had already wandered. I took out my phone and called my father in New York. The arranged meeting with the asterisk. I'll go. 5 years ago, after graduation, my father wanted me to return to New York to inherit the family empire. I refused to leave Elena and stayed in San Francisco. Over 5 years, I went from a trust fund kid to a self-made founder. Whatever Elena wanted to do, I did it with her. Through stumbling blocks and mutual support, we built the largest fashion tech company in the city. Annual revenue hit billions, only to earn her comment, "We are not a match now." Leaving all this to go back to New York, I actually felt a pang of reluctance. Elena messaged me. The car was deregistered and returned. She was staying at the office with Liam tonight to catch up on work. She wouldn't be coming home. I lay in bed awake all night. The next day, I arrive at the company on an empty stomach. Surprisingly, breakfast from Elena was on my desk. A sticky note with her handwriting read, "Liam and I are meeting clients. Let's do lunch." But inside the bag were lobster ravioli, my least favorite food. Clearly, she hadn't bought this for me. I handed the breakfast to my assistant. "Go buy me something else." Relationships that have gone bad are like food you hate. There's no need to force yourself to swallow. By 1 p.m., I cleared my paperwork, but Elena was nowhere to be seen. My assistant suddenly walked in. "Boss, I saw Elena and her assistant went for seafood. What can I order for you?" I froze for a second, frowning. "What did you see that?" The assistant waved his phone, looking surprised. "Instagram." Her assistant posted a story thanking Elena for the big meal. I lit a cigarette and exhaled smoke into the air. The guilt I felt last night about agreeing to the blind date vanished completely. At 3 p.m., Elena clicked her heels into my office, Liam trailing behind her. "Julian, sorry. The client meeting ran long, so we grabbed a quick bite. Did you eat?" I picked up the file she brought back and gave a non-committal response. She pulled out the chair across from my desk and sighed. "Julian, rumors about the car are spreading through the office. People are gossiping about Liam. Can you please say something to clear it up? Consider it a favor for the big contract we signed today." My hand, poised to sign a document, paused. I looked up. "You gave the car. He accepted it. Why am I the outsider, expected to wipe your ass?" Elena's cool face showed displeasure. "Julian, you're the owner. It's just one sentence from you." I leaned back in my chair and laughed coldly. "You want me to use my authority to force people to shut up? A boss gifting a supercar. Of course, people are going to talk. If he dared to accept it and brag about it on social media, didn't he anticipate this?" She was defending him, and she wanted me to swallow my disgust and defend him, too. "Elena, 9 years. Do you have no heart?" Liam spoke up from behind her. "It's okay, Ms. Vance. A few rumors won't hurt me. Mr. Sterling is busy. Let's not bother him with trivial matters." Elena got agitated. "How is this trivial? You travel with me everywhere. I don't want people whispering about you." I threw the file onto the desk, interrupting their moment. "First, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Elena, if this was strictly business, a reward for bringing in massive revenue, giving him a car would be fine. But the fact is the value of these contracts doesn't come close to the price of that car. I don't care if you misjudge his contribution or if you just feel bad that he drives you around. The company pays him a sufficient salary. If it's not enough, he can ask for a raise. You do not privately take my supercar to compensate him. This is your mess. Don't ask me to pull rank to fix it for you." Both of them froze. Liam recovered faster than Elena. He bowed his head to me, voice sincere. "I'm sorry, Mr. Sterling. I didn't think it through. I will handle this myself. Please don't blame Elena." He called her Elena. Overnight, the professional title was gone. They were closer than I thought. Elena slammed her hand on the desk. "Fine, we'll handle it ourselves. We don't need you." She grabbed Liam and stormed out of the office without looking back. Before leaving work, I received travel requests for both of them. I approved them. That night, My best friend Marcus called me out for drinks. He teased that I should have moved on ages ago. 9 years devoted to one girl, and she didn't even appreciate it. She probably feels pressure being with you. No matter how hard she works, she can't make a tenth of your family's money, and she can't spend yours with a clear conscience. It's an ego thing. Modern independent women, you know. I doubt a mojito without speaking. No, when two hearts are truly together, love isn't a burden. Only when there is no love do you start making rational calculations. Whatever. People who don't belong to me are better off gone. When's the setup with the heirs? You really leaving San Francisco? I said next week. Once I transfer the company management to you, I'm gone. I co-founded this fashion company with Elena. We both held 50% equity. Since I was cutting ties, everything had to be settled. I spent the entire next week handling the transfer. Since our argument, Elena had blocked me on WeChat and iMessage. But Liam's social media remained public. Every day, he posted photos related to Elena. Sunsets by the beach after meetings, couples' breakfast sets delivered to their hotel rooms, Americanos at 3 a.m. while pulling an all-nighter for a proposal. My heart went from aching to numb until my assistant nervously handed me his phone, showing Liam's private Twitter account. Mr. Sterling, the algorithm pushed this to me. I think you should see it. I stared at the account for a long time. The latest post was a photo of Elena sleeping in his arms, her face buried in his chest. Below, followers commented, "Congrats, Opie. From unrequited love to boyfriend. You finally made it. Wow. Been reading your crush diaries for 4 years. Finally, the ship has sailed. So secret crushes can really have happy endings." I felt nothing. I smiled indifferently and handed the phone back. Notify everyone. Staff meeting this afternoon. This messy triangle needed to end. At 3 p.m., I walked into the main conference room with Marcus. Brief announcement. I'm stepping down as CEO. The company will now be fully managed by Marcus and Elena. The room erupted in shock. I walked off the stage and left the building. The next day, the real estate agent came to list the villa. I sat in the car heading to the airport. The terminal was crowded. As I dragged my suitcase toward security, I ran straight into Elena and Liam, who had just rushed back. She saw me across the sea of people. Yesterday, I had asked someone to send her a breakup text. I didn't spare them a glance as I walked past, but Elena grabbed my hand, her voice low. "Julian, why are you throwing a tantrum?" I frowned. "Let go. You're filthy." She didn't let go. Instead, she spoke with forced patience. "I know you're angry. I am okay, but there is really nothing between Liam and me. Selling your shares, breaking up. Aren't you overreacting?" The airport intercom chimed a boarding announcement. I couldn't be bothered to argue. I pulled out my phone, opened Twitter, and shoved Liam's account in her face. The evidence is solid. Do I have to broadcast the dirty things you two did for you to back off? She froze, her lips parting in disbelief. Ignoring her shock, I pocketed my phone and walked past her. She snapped out of it, blocked my path, and turned her rage on Liam. "What the hell is this? When did I ever sleep with you? Speak, Liam." Liam's face went pale, panic flashing in his eyes. "Elena, let me explain." Elena gripped my arm tightly, her eyes furious. She stared at Liam like he was a traitor. "We have never been alone in a room like that. Why would you Photoshop a picture like that? And I asked you before if you liked me, and you said no. Was that all a lie? I treated you as a trusted partner, and you were fantasizing about me." Liam stumbled toward her, nervous. "No, Elena, liking you is my own business. I never wanted to break you and miss her. Sterling up. I never let my feelings affect my work. Those photos, they were just a way to cope." Elena screamed, her voice shrill. "I asked you where that photo came from." She was desperate to prove the photo was fake, as if proving that would prove she still loved me. Only Liam here is suffering from unrequited love. Liam muttered, looking down, his expression conflicted. "That photo, it was the night you were drunk. You ran into my room. You were upset. You said a lot of things to me." And eventually, Elena's expression went blank for a second. She whispered, "Why didn't you push me away?" Liam explained frantically, "I wanted to, but I stared at Liam's feigned hesitation and laughed coldly. "I'll answer that for him. Because a man finds it hard to refuse a woman and even harder to refuse the woman he loves. Elena looked at me, unable to accept the reality. Juliana, I didn't know. I was drunk. I didn't want to hear it. I shook her hand off. If you didn't have thoughts, you wouldn't have been drinking alone in the middle of the night, and you certainly wouldn't have run into another man's hotel room. It's too late for talk. No, I won't let you go. She rushed in front of me, blocking my path. Julian, 9 years. You can't just drop it. You can't just leave. We were supposed to get married next year. Her words caused a ripple in my heart. I laughed a low, bitter sound. Yeah, we were supposed to get married a year ago. I had secretly flown to Italy to have a unique ring custom made for her. We were so close. The airport announcement chimed again. My face returned to ice. Move. We have no future. I walked straight through the VIP security gate, ignoring Elena's sobbing behind me, and boarded the flight to New York. The plane landed in New York. My father sent a driver to pick me up. The old estate in the Upper East Side looked exactly the same. The first thing my father did when he saw me was raise his cane to strike me. I told you not to go. You stayed in that damn city for 5 years for a woman. And look at you now. No woman. And your career is a mess. Look at yourself. I dodged laughing despite myself. I'm listening to you now, aren't I? Coming back to meet the asterisk. My father softened, huffing. Dumb kid. Go be cleaned up. We're meeting them tonight. I sighed in relief and went to my room. The heirs and the Stirrings were both families with century-old legacies. The Astor heiress, rumor had it, was the next head of the family. My father told me she had met with several young men from prominent families but hadn't settled on anyone. I had no interest in her. I only agreed to avoid answering questions about San Francisco. At 6 p.m., dressed in a tuxedo, I went with my dad to the Knickerbocker Club. The heirs just secured several major real estate projects. We don't need to cling to them, but if you and the Astor girl work out, I can finally rest easy handing the family business to you. I looked out the car window, smiling faintly. Let's leave it to fate. Dad, I had just ended a relationship. I wasn't ready to start another. We arrived at the club. Security was tighter than before. The tattoo of Elena's name on my chest was barely peeking out, but the attendant asked me to remove my jacket for a check. Sir, please cooperate. I frowned, taking off my jacket. A sweet female voice sounded behind me. Uncle Sterling, what a coincidence. I turned to see a fresh-faced young woman with a doll-like appearance. Her eyes, however, drifted immediately to my abs. I didn't miss the spark of appreciation in them. Ah, Chloe, what luck running into you at the door. It was her, Chloe Astor. She wasn't the shark I expected. She looked harmless, but her eyes were frighteningly bright, holding a sharp intelligence. Uncle Sterling, is this your son? As I put my jacket back on, my father chatted enthusiastically with her. Yes, my son Julian, just back in New York. I thought I'd introduce you too. We were all smart people here. Nothing needed to be spelled out. Chloe smiled and extended her hand. Eloy, nice to meet you. I caught the playful glint in her eye as I shook her hand. Julian Sterling. Dinner went well. My father was thrilled and handed over the family business the next day. I was busy for a week until Marcus called from San Francisco. He said Elena had been searching for me frantically, pestering him for my contact info until he was losing his mind. I was silent for a moment. Give it to her. After hanging up, I stood by the window, thinking about Chloe's persistent invitations over the last week. Just this morning, I had politely but firmly rejected her. A minute later, my phone rang. Elena's voice came through, tense and anxious. Julian, I confirmed with Liam. Nothing happened that night. Julian, I didn't cheat. I haven't done anything to betray you. Where are you? Can I come apologize? My tone remained flat. Elena, we didn't break up because of physical cheating. Her breath hitched. Then what is it? Patiently, I listed everything. Gifting a supercar, buying him underwear, the photos, the seafood dinner, defending him in front of me. Elena, what killed my heart wasn't a photo of you sleeping. It was your attitude. Your attitude toward him and toward me. Every single instance was evidence that you no longer love me. When you love someone, your subconscious actions don't lie. Elena's voice choked up. No, Julian, I love you. I miss you so much. I can't live without you. How can you say I don't love you? I paused and spoke quietly. You're just grieving the loss of someone who's been around for a long time. It doesn't mean you still love me. Elena, we loved each other once. Let's end it with dignity. Don't look for me anymore. Don't turn yourself into someone hysterical. Elena came through the phone, sounding more tragic by the second, but my heart remained still. A relationship between two people can survive 1,000 cuts. But once a third person is involved, the love is no longer pure. My love cannot tolerate a single grain of sand. At first, I thought Chloe really liked me. Being with her would maximize the interests of both our families. But in the end, I didn't do it. I wanted my emotions to be pure. I had told her directly, I just ended a relationship. I have no intention of starting another right now. I want to focus on work. Chloe had admired my honesty, saying she was willing to wait. I told her, no, love isn't something you wait for. Even Elena and I, after 9 years, drifted apart in disappointment. Another week later, Marcus told me Elena and Liam had a massive blowout at the office. It was fierce in public. I opened the security footage Marcus sent. Elena and Liam were arguing. Liam, having been an assistant for 4 years, wanted to resign and start his own venture. Elena refused. Liam started by coaxing her, then grew impatient. He threatened that if she didn't lift his non-compete clause, he would take the company's clients with him. Elena laughed at his naivety. Their words were laced with threats. Watching it, I only found it funny. All those years, Elena ran sales and I ran operations. I often warned her not to reveal all her cards to subordinates. She, however, shared everything with Liam. This fallout was inevitable. But I was curious. Didn't Liam love Elena? Why leave her to go solo? I soon got the answer. Marcus said Liam used some method to force Elena to lift the non-compete. He started a separate company named after Elena, but he stole her contracts. Not only that, he began a high-profile pursuit of her romantically. Elena was furious. She gave in to the 99,999 roses he sent to the staff and began blacklisting Liam in the industry. The two formerly inseparable partners became mortal enemies. Elena lived at the office fighting for contracts. Liam undercut her prices to steal clients. They turned the San Francisco fashion scene upside down. Marcus called to complain, asking if I could sell my remaining shares because he didn't want to deal with the mess anymore. I said fine. Running a company isn't playing house. Elena and Liam were being too childish. I thought they would drag this out longer, but unexpectedly, Elena quietly arrived in New York. She must have found my location through some back channel. She stood at the entrance of my building, staring intently at the doors, scanning every figure that passed. I stood behind the privacy glass on the 3rd floor, looking down at her. She looked thinner. Her cheeks were hollow, her eyes sunken and shadowed with deep exhaustion. She looked like she hadn't slept properly in a long time. I took the elevator down. The moment I stepped out, Elena's voice rang out, filled with desperate joy. Julian, I nodded faintly, observing her closely. How long has it been since you slept? Up close, her exhaustion was even more apparent. Elena's eyes flashed with sadness, her grip on her briefcase tightening. Since you left, I haven't been able to sleep. Seeing I didn't respond, tears suddenly streamed down her face. Julian, I miss you. Come back, please. I can't be without you. I took a step back, ignoring the hug she was initiating. Elena, we're broken up. I'm not coming back. Elena looked like she was breaking apart, tears sliding down her cheeks. Why? We were so good together. Just because of a misunderstanding with Liam. You're pushing me away so heartlessly. I looked at her confused expression and said calmly, it wasn't a misunderstanding. Her eyes widened. Liam likes you. You always knew. I used to think Elena was oblivious to Liam's feelings. But recently, Chloe had been intentionally mentioning business intel to me. Love, even when unspoken, leaks out of the eyes, especially a 4-year crush. You use my love for you to help you build a company. Then you use Liam's love for you to advance your career. Elena, you wanted everything. You deserve this ending. Panic flashed in Elena's eyes. She grabbed my sleeve anxiously. No, Julian, there really is nothing between him and me. I didn't know he loved me. I laughed coldly, unlocked my phone, and showed her a chat log, a log where Liam tried to make peace with me. My family's business wasn't in fashion, but the heirs was. Chloe had found out about my history in San Francisco and blocked Liam's contracts. Liam approached me, explaining everything. He provided evidence of how Elena had intentionally and unintentionally roped him in. The messages revealed Elena's dissatisfaction with me. She complained I was domineering, too tough, inconsiderate. She wrote that if the company didn't need me right now, she wouldn't want to be in the same room as me. She called Liam her salvation. Liam had used these logs to blackmail Elena into lifting the non-compete. Now, he used them to make me see Elena's true face. Elena, if you want to use emotions to climb the ladder, you need to make sure you have the skill to handle the fall. My words were like knives stabbing into her chest. Her face went green, then white. Ashamed, she turned and fled. She probably realized she could never win me back. The summer evening breeze was warm. Chloe rolled up in a pink Bugatti Veyron, stopping slowly in front of me. She rolled down the window and smiled radiantly. "Handsome, care to join me for dinner?" I smiled helplessly and opened the passenger door. I heard news of Elena and Liam again 6 months later. Rumor had it that after returning, Elena buried the hatchet and partnered with Liam on a new project. It went well. Both made money, but that same project caused a massive conflict. Their companies went back to war. Former partners became bitter rivals. Another 6 months later, Elena swallowed Liam's company. Simultaneously, Liam's Twitter was wiped clean overnight. Only one sentence remained: never again. I felt nothing hearing this. Elena could suppress her conscience to seek reconciliation with me. Liam could use Elena to beg for my forgiveness. Neither of them was a good person. A long time after that, Marcus told me Elena was sick. Brain cancer. The rumor was it came from exhaustion and overwork. It was aggressive. Treatment would be long and hard. Marcus asked if my heart ached for her. I looked at Chloe, who was napping in the passenger seat, and fell into thought. What should I take her to eat for lunch? Story complete.